So much of the day to day in motherhood revolves around cooking and making sure everyone is fed. So while I am batch prepping some food for my family for the week, I also just want to chat about motherhood at 40, or in my case at 43. I'm rapidly approaching my 43rd birthday. And as I'm nearing that date, I've just been thinking a lot about being a mother at this phase of life. Before I begin, I want to preface this conversation by saying that I only understand motherhood in my own experiences. I have no idea what it's like to be a mother in your 20s or in your 30s. I had my daughter when I was 38, but I have no idea what it's like to be a mother younger than that. Maybe it's similar, maybe it's totally different. I have no idea. But I do know that mothers and motherhood is a dynamic, fluid, and individual experience. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm comparing or judging others. I'm just reflecting on my own experiences and changes as I have become a mother. Where I think becoming a mother at an older age, whatever that means, has benefited me and hopefully will benefit my daughter too, is my life's experiences. Before having my daughter, I had almost 4 decades of life under my belt. And of course, young people are also full of experience and wisdom. But for my own life, I often reflect upon how grateful I am that I wasn't learning how to cook, run a home, be a mom, and work all at the same time. And because of that, these 4 years that I have stayed home with my daughter now have been really sweet. I mean, of course, they haven't been without trials. I mean, anytime you have a child involved, there's always going to be good days and bad days. But because of that, I've been able to learn new skills that are just of interest and fun, but that also benefit my family too, like milling my own flour, for example. Here I am making a double batch of half fresh milled sourdough bagels. It's kind of a lot to say, sorry. So usually I use 100% fresh milled flour for my fresh milled recipes, but lately I've just been really feeling the half and half. So this is 50% kamut and 50% bread flour. And what I like about this combination is the kamut offers whole grain nutrition, but also the bread flour creates a stronger dough. So that kamut doesn't have a strong gluten network. So it doesn't make the best baked goods on its own, but with that bread flour or any other type of flour with more gluten, it creates a really nice dough. And on top of that, kamut is also mild in flavor, so it's really nice for things like bagels and sandwich bread, for example. And I'm making a double batch so that way we can have a few bagels for breakfast, and then the rest I'm going to freeze so we can have them later. Now, I'm not saying that motherhood boils down to having frozen bagels so you have easy breakfast. Of course, it does help, but being prepared and being able to know how to prepare and to anticipate what may lie ahead is something that I have become more skillful at as I have aged. When I was younger, I wasn't really great at dealing with the bumps in the road, and I would get really frustrated or not know what to do. But over the years, I've learned that most of the time, the bump in the road doesn't really matter that much. And I think that has made motherhood in my 40s a little bit easier because there's always going to be bumps in the road. Sometimes I hit a roadblock every 15 minutes. That doesn't mean that I never get frustrated, but I do feel like as we gain experience through life, it just gets easier. I don't know, maybe I just don't care as much as I used to, but I also think that with experience and age, you also learn that sometimes things just aren't as consequential or as permanent as they may feel. Okay, let's talk about this chicken for a second. So it is summer, it's blazing hot. The heat index was 110 here, so I did not feel like using my oven much. So what I did is I pressure cooked the chicken. I just put a cup of water in the bottom and then I salt and peppered the chicken, pressure cooked it on high for 30 minutes. Then I just let it naturally release for about 30 minutes. I wanted to see if I could crisp up the skin a little bit. So once it was finished in the pressure cooker, I transferred the chicken to a skillet. Well, actually, my husband transferred the chicken to the skillet for me. And then I put it under the broiler. Now, next time I'll do it a little differently. I think it would work better if I put the chicken lower and put the broiler on low. So I'm going to experiment with that and I will keep you in the loop if that works better. Becoming a mother at 38 years old completely reshaped my identity. I went from chasing career goals in grad school to caring for another human being and managing a home. This video is sponsored by BetterHelp, and I am so glad to be partnering with them because supporting mothers and their overall well-being is something I deeply care about. As moms, so much of our energy goes into caring for everybody other than ourselves. We're managing our households, we're checking all the boxes off of our family's to-do lists, and somewhere along the way, we forget to check in with ourselves. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that makes it easy to get the mental health support you need from home, making therapy more accessible for busy moms and women. You just fill out a quick questionnaire and they'll match you with a licensed therapist in as little as a couple of days. And if it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists at any time for no extra cost. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3-star rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that you can trust. Click the link in the description box or head over to betterhelp.com/moonandmagnolia to get 10% off your first month of therapy. And thank you again so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Whether we're talking about motherhood or just life in general, as I have been working my way into my 40s, I've definitely found more confidence than what I had when I was younger. I'm not easily influenced and my opinions aren't easily swayed. And I really just feel confident in my own decision making. And one way that I've seen this play out in motherhood is I haven't really gotten into any specific parenting style because I've found that through the course of my own life that I can't really get too locked into one way of doing things because life is always too fluid and dynamic to pick just one way to make choices and to live life. Since pregnancy, my philosophy has always been to do what needs to be done. When I was pregnant, my midwives asked me what my birthing plan was, and I said, to do what needs to be done. And as I became a mother and had a small child, people ask me what my parenting method is, and I always say, to do what needs to be done. And people ask me what our education method is, and I say, to do what needs to be done. And this method has really allowed me to just stay focused on what we need right now. The younger version of myself would be appalled at this new version of myself. When I was younger, I was really rigid in my ways, and part of that was really necessary. That's how I made it through grad school. That's how I was working my way into a career, and that's how I met my goals. But as I've been reflecting on my own life and what it means to be a mother in your 40s, I've found that life is just too complex and too dynamic to ever just look at it one way. Okay, so let's talk about this slow cooker lasagna recipe that I am making. So I'm actually making this for a freezer meal too, and you can get this recipe over my blog at moonandmagnolia.com. It actually just went live today at the time of filming this, so you can get it there, and the link is in the description box. I'm pretty sure I made this on YouTube a while ago, but this is one of my family's favorites, so you'll probably see it in past videos, obviously in this video, and probably in future videos too. But in any case, I am first just browning some ground beef. I know that beef is really expensive right now. I just saw a headline yesterday that said beef prices are the new egg prices. So if you can't find beef at a good price, I'd recommend getting ground pork, or you could even just make this vegetarian if you have some extra veggies sitting around. But in any case, I'm browning meat. Then I added in some onions, some fresh garlic from the garden, one large can of tomato sauce, a can of tomato paste, and then I also like to add a tablespoon of sugar to cut the acidity, and then any seasonings you like. So while that is warming on the stove, I am making the cheese mixture. I do not like ricotta cheese, so my recipe calls for cottage cheese. So it's cottage cheese, mozzarella cheese, and Parmesan cheese all mixed together. And then you simply just layer a lasagna. So what I like about this recipe though, is it uses plain old lasagna noodles that are uncooked. So don't get the oven ready kind, just get plain old lasagna noodles and then layer noodles, cheese, sauce, noodles, cheese, sauce. And what I like about that is those noodles then cook in the sauce and the cheese and they become really tender and really flavorful. And you don't have to cook the sauce in one pan, boil the noodles in another, and then bake the lasagna in another dish. But because those noodles are uncooked, make sure when you're layering it that the noodles are totally covered. Just make sure that the cheese and the sauce completely covers them. And then also make sure the final layer of noodles has a nice thick layer of cheese and sauce on top. That will prevent the top from drying out. And then I put this in my Brewed and Taylor slow cooker. I swear by this thing. It's actually a bread proofing box, but you can change the settings for a slow cooker and it's collapsible. I love it. I don't even have a regular slow cooker anymore, but of course you can use your regular old slow cooker and then cook it for about 4 to 6 hours or until those noodles are tender and delicious. That slow cooker lasagna is one of my family's favorite meals. And thinking about family favorites and family traditions is something that's really new to me as I have become a mother, and even more so as I'm getting into my 40s. There's such a tenderness surrounding tradition that I didn't really know much about until I'd say the last couple of years. Of course, when my little girl was like a baby, I kind of thought about these things, but now that we're doing things together, I feel really sensitive and sort of protective of our family traditions and the traditions that we're building together. I've talked a lot on YouTube and I talk a lot on my blog about heirloom skills, these things we can do, these traditional skills that we can hone and learn that we can also pass down. And for me, baking bread has been one of the most important traditions in my own life and one that I really love sharing with my daughter. And just a side note, if you do bake bread and make sourdough, but you feel like it's hard to do with your kids around, just give them a little bit of the dough and they can play with it while you shape the dough or do whatever else you need to do in the kitchen. Works like a charm every single time. But that sentiment of tradition was like so far off my radar when I was younger. My hunch is, had I become a mother in my 20s or 30s, I probably would feel the same way. Having a child just does something to you. It just changes the way your heart feels. It changes the way you see the world. So my guess is I would feel that sense of tradition even then, but I really feel it now. And in my 40s, I also know how fleeting everything can be. Now, I don't know what your 20s and 30s were like, but mine were really fun and it was a wild ride. And in my 40s, I look back on that and think, that was just a blip on the radar. It went by so fast. And I feel like it's almost a little frustrating now knowing how fast these moments go. So that's why it seems so important to me to hang on to these traditions and build them and just really enjoy them. I actually made the bagel dough the day before and then I let it bulk ferment all day and then I cold proofed it just because I couldn't get to it in the same day. So after my daughter and I shaped them, they proofed again, and once they were puffy, it is time to boil them. When you boil bagels, it creates sort of that signature texture. But what the boiling also does is it prevents the bagels from rising too much once they're in the oven. When I boil bagels, I put about 8 cups of water in a wide Dutch oven and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now, you'll see in a minute that my bagels turned out a little bit dark, and that's because filming slows me down and they boiled too long. You really only need to boil them for like 30 seconds or less. So the longer you boil them in that baking soda, or if you use too much baking soda, they'll get really dark and they might even get a little too chewy. Now, luckily, these still tasted fine. I actually kind of like them that way, but that's just something to keep in mind if you are making bagels. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I have no idea what it feels like to be a younger mom. I have my daughter at 38. I'm now almost 43 with 1 child. That's the only experience I know. But I do feel like I'm really tired. I know all mothers are tired. There is not a mother on this earth that is tired, but I know for sure when I was 25, I just had more energy. I bounced back more quickly. I was able to deal with the lack of sleep better. I mean, I didn't even sleep usually between like Friday night and Sunday morning. I like hardly slept at all. So I was out having a good time. And now I feel like if I don't get enough rest, I don't even know how to think anymore. And that is one part of motherhood that I don't want to say is a negative, but where I do feel really different. Obviously, I don't know what pregnancy and delivery would have been like for me had I been younger, but I did have preeclampsia and she was breech. So at a certain point, I think it was 37 weeks, she just had to get on out of there. So I had a C-section and it took me forever to recover. It took me 7 weeks to be able to sit up by myself. I still have pain in my lower abdomen sometimes, especially if I'm working out and I do like lower core abdominal work. And maybe it would have been just the same had I been younger. I know lots of young mothers have similar stories, but I do know just based upon my own experiences in my own body, I just bounced back from things faster when I was younger. But young, old, tired, not tired, ready or not, motherhood is such an amazing journey and it's a wild ride. And it definitely has its ups and downs. But for my life and for my experiences, I really am grateful that I'm experiencing this for the first time at this age.